Today we're going to talk about the past tense. Uh-oh, past tense. Is it difficult?
No, I think it's not.
It's not. If you know how to conjugate verbs, like, in our previous video, then you're going to have a really good idea on how to do the past tense, okay? So let's get started. So we have a verb here, and it's
먹다.
먹다, and that means to eat, right? So in our previous video, we learned how to conjugate it normally. It's gonna look like this.
저는 사과를 먹어요.
Yes. So right here we have 먹다, and then when you conjugate it, when you in the speaking way, it's 먹어요, right? But this just says I eat apples, or I eat an apple, right? But if you want to say I ate an apple, it's going to be a little bit different. 저는 사과를
먹었어요.
먹었어요. So if you notice, the difference is this part right here. Instead of saying 먹어요, you have 먹었어요. So if you just look them side to side next to each other, here's the main difference. Just 먹어요 and 먹었어요, right? 먹었어요. So this is the past tense right here. The one with the double shiot and an oyo, right? So it's quite simple, really. If you know how to conjugate normally, then you know how to do it in the past tense also. So let's dive in and look at the rules. Okay. So here we have the rule, the first rule. If the last vowel is an a or an o, you need to add as어요. as어요. So 가다 means to go, and the last vowel is an a, so we need to say
갔어요.
갔어요. 갔어요. 갔어요.
갔어요.
갔어요. And next we have 살다.
살다.
살다. And this is always never easy for me. I can never say it. 살다.
살다.
And then that means to live, right? Like, where do you live? And to say that in the past tense, you need to say
살았어요.
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 살았어요. And we have 보다. 보다 means to watch. And then when you say in the past tense, you need to say 왔어요.
봤어요.
왔어요. 왔어요.
봤어요.
So this is how it look like when you conjugate these verbs. If it ends with an a, an o, or when there's a consonant also. Okay? And let's look at the next rule. Now this is if it doesn't end with an a, it doesn't end with an o, you need to add
없어요.
os어요. os어요. So we have 마시다. 마시다 means to drink.
drink.
And to say in the past tense, you need to say
마셨어요.
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 Yeah, that one's a little bit difficult for me. 마셨어요. 맞아? No?
마셨어요.
마셨어요. 마셨어요. And then we have 먹다, and we did that one already, right? 먹었어요. And 주다. 주다 means to give. And to say it in the past tense,
줬어요.
줬어요. 줬어요. Okay? And suda has a few meanings, but this time I guess we'll say to write. If you want to say I wrote, you need to say
썼어요.
썼어요. Okay?
썼어요.
Okay? And then one more, and it's my favorite one because it's so easy. 하다. Because all 하다 ends with 했어요.
Right.
So 공부하다, to study. 공부했어, right?
공부했어요. 산책하다 means go for a walk.
Yeah, go for a walk.
산책했어요.
Past tense, right? 산책했어. ballet하다.
빨래하다
ballet하다.
is to laundry.
To do laundry.
To do laundry.
And to say it in past tense, it's
빨래했어요.
ballet했어요, right? That's all it is. 하다 is super easy. Just change it to 했어요, right? All right. Now let's look at some examples, some questions. And then I have a question for Donna. I'm asking, where did you go? Not where are you going? Where did you go? Now remember, we're saying everything in the past tense, right? So where did you go? Now how do we say this in Korean? So 어디에 갔어요? That means where did you go? And Donna, where did you go? Now,
저는
what do we have here?
store,
Store,
가게.
가게, right? So first, you want to say I, 저는, then what?
And then verb. So 저는 가게에 갔어요.
갔어요. Yeah. And remember, because it's 가다, we don't need to say eso, just right? So we went to the store. Or, so it's I went to the store. All right, let's look at the next one. Now it says eso this time, so that means there's an action happening, right? So 어디에서, and then we have this word right here. We talked about this earlier. 살다, that means to live. So how do we say this in the past tense? 어디에서 살았어요? Where did you live? Where did you live? All right, and Donna needs to respond. Oh, I wonder if Donna can respond like this. Oh, what does it say here?
미국.
미국, America. I guess that's a question for me, right?
Yeah.
That's for me. Okay, I will respond. So 저는, that means I, of course, and then we need the location first, okay? Which is America. So 미국에서, that means at or in America, and then our past tense. Where did you live? So lived is 살았어요, right? So 저는 미국에서 살았어요. I lived in America. Where did you live?
저는 한국에서 살았어요.
한국에서, in America. All right, next one. All right, so here, I'm asking her, where did you watch a movie? Where did you watch a movie? And to say watch a movie, you need to say
영화를 보다.
영화 is the movie. And the object marker is right here. So we talked about the object marker in our previous video, so watch that. And 보다 means to watch, so watch a movie. And to say 보다 in the past tense, you need to say
봤어요.
봤어요. Yes, 영화를 봤어요. Is that difficult for you to conjugate?
No, I mean because 보다 is just a basic form, but when I trans here, I have to conjugate also past tense. So I was saying like should I say past tense in basic form or should I say
왔다, yeah. You know, there's actually a basic form for the past tense word. Like instead of 왔어요 mean is conjugated, right? But it's actually the basic form of 왔어요 is 왔다, right? 왔다. But right now we're just going to focus on the conjugated form. So 어디에서 영화를 왔어요? Where did you watch the movie?
어디에서 영화를 봤어요?
And then Donna's gonna answer with movie theater. And how do we say movie theater in Korean?
영화관.
영화관, not 장, 관, 영화관. So how do we complete the sentence?
오케이. 저는 영화관에서 영화를 봤어요.
Yes. So the first part, you need, of course, 저는, and then where. 영화관에서, and then
object.
Then the object, 영화, and then
Or
at the end, of course, the verb, right? We need the verb at the end. You know, that's, I think, like I said in the previous video, the hardest part is where to put those words. Like, usually we have the verb after the subject. So it's like, I watch, I eat, I talk, I run. But the verb is at the end of the sentences. So movie theater, at the movie theater, movie watch. You know, it's like, you know, it's kind of like all flipped around for English speakers. But just remember, the verb is always at the end, okay? All right, so one more time.
저는 영화관에서 영화를 봤어요.
Yes. I watched the movie at the movie theater. Okay. Now let's keep going. We have another question here. I got so many questions for Donna. 어디에서 means, of course, where at. Where did you go on a date? So go on a date. So if you look right here, how do we say this?
데이트를
데이트를
하다.
하다. Date, I think you can guess what that means. It means date. 하다 means to do. So literal translations, it means to do a date, but it just means go on a date, right? So how do we say this in the past tense?
했어요.
했어요. Very good. 데이트를 했어요. That's so easy. And you probably can guess what date means, right? Date, right? So easy. And then let's see how Donna is going to respond. All right. And then right here, down here, we have
놀이공원.
놀이공원, and that means amusement park. That's a good date, right? How do you say I had a date at the amusement park?
First, you have to say the location. So 저는 놀이공원에서 데이트를 했어요.
Yes.
I had a date at amusement park. Yeah.
I had a date. So of course the first part, we need 놀이공원에서. That means at the amusement park. Then 데이트를. It's always so strange for me to say it a little bit differently. 데이트를 했어요. And remember, the verb is always at the end, right? 했어요. So that's the end of our examples. Then let's do a recap. Just remember, when you're asking the question, 어디에서, that means where at. And then if you have an object, remember to use the object marker. And then, of course, the verb at the end. And this is in the past tense. 만났어요. Don't say 만나요. Where did you meet your friend? And then, when you want to respond, it's very similar, right, Donna?
저는 학교에서 친구를 만났어요.
Yeah. So, of course, first part, 저는, I. And then,
학교에서
the location.
at school,
Then, the object.
친구를
And then,
만났어요.
만났어요, the verb at the end, okay? So, that's our recap. So, we have all this. Looks simple, right? All you gotta need is who, the place, the what, and then the verb. Easy.
Easy for me.
Easy. Yeah, easy. No problem. I hope these colors are helping out,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think this color helpful.
Yeah. So you kind of know, like, all the green is the subject. SO is like the location, blue is the objects, orange is the object, and then red is the verb, right? Or our lesson today. And now, of course, at the end of our videos, we always have a test. So, same as before, I want you to translate the English into Korean. I'll give you 5 seconds. Pause the video if you need to. And then we're going to answer together, starting now. Okay, so we have the question I'm asking. Where did you buy the hat? Now, first part, we need to say where at, right? So how do we say that?
어디에서
어디에서? And then we need
object
the object, right? And the object is the hat.
모자를
모자를. And then we need the verb, which is
buy
So,
past tense.
mm-hmm.
So 모자를 샀어요.
샀어요. Right, very good. So 어디에서 모자를 샀어요?
어디에서 모자를 샀어요?
And Donna, where did you buy your hat? I bought the hat at the store. Wow, surprising. At the store. I would never guessed. So, of course, when you're answering, first part is 저는. You don't actually need 저는 when it's just between you two. You don't really need 저는, right? Yeah, it's unnecessary, but it's good practice to say it, right? And then, what is the next part we need to say?
you should say location.
And which is
store, 가게에서.
가게에서.
And then object, 모자를 샀어요.
샀어요. And the verb at the end. So 저는 가게에서
모자를 샀어요.
Next. Where did you learn Korean? Okay, and then we need to start the question. Where at, right? So that's 어디에서. And then we need the object, which is,
Korean
and to say that,
한국어를
한국어를. And remember the object is right here. And then
learn the verb learn
배우다. And then how do we say that in past tense?
배웠어요.
배웠어요, right? 배웠어요. And 어디에서
한국어를 배웠어요.
배웠어요.
I learned Korean at school. Did you?
So it says, I learned Korean at school. And how do we say this?
Okay, 저는 I and location at school. 학교에서
학교에서
and the object Korean 한국어를 learned 배웠어요.
배웠어요. So 저는 학교에서 한국어를 배웠어요. So I, then the location, the object, and then the verb at the end. Let's keep going. Question number 5. Where did you find the key? And of course, 어디에서
어디에서 the key 열쇠를
열쇠를.
did you find 찾았어요.
Yes. To find is 찾다.
찾다.
찾다. That's to find. And then you want to say in the past tense, it's 찾았어요. 찾았어요.
Past tense also conjugate.
찾았다. 찾았다. 뭐야?
찾다.
찾다.
And then conjugate 찾아요.
찾아요.
And then past tense 찾았어요.
찾았어요. So 찾다, 찾아요, 찾았어요. 찾았어요. I found the key in the kitchen. Ooh, maybe you need to translate some words right now. All right, I found the key in the kitchen. So first part is of course 저는,
저는
and then we need the place.
in the kitchen.
So how do we say that?
주방에서
주방에서, and then we need the object, which
the
is
key
the key.
열쇠를
열쇠를 and
찾았어요.
찾았어요. 찾았어요. It's the past tense of find, so found. I found the key in the kitchen. 저는 주방에서 열쇠를 찾았어요.
저는 주방에서 열쇠를 찾았어요.
Two more. Where did you borrow the book? All right, we have our question here. Okay, so where did you borrow the book? Of course, this is a question, so we need to say 어디에서. And then we need the object, which is
책을
책을, the book, and then borrow. How do we say borrow in Korean, the base form?
빌리다.
빌리다. And then how do we say borrow, like I borrow something, the conjugated form?
빌려요. 빌려요.
And then borrowed, past tense.
빌렸어요.
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 That is so hard for me to say. 빌렸어요.
But that's
Oh, that's good. Yes, I did it. 어디에서 책을 빌렸어요.
빌렸어요. 어디에서 책을 빌렸어요?
And our last question. I borrowed the book at the library. Okay. And of course we need to say 저는. Then the location.
도서관에서
도서관에서
책을
책을 then
빌렸어요.
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 저는 도서관에서 책을 빌렸어요.
빌렸어요.
Yes. And that's it. We did
We
it.
did it.
Easy, right?
Was it easy?
Oh my god. You have no idea how hard that was for me at first, but I think a lot of practice. Rewatch these videos, not just to give me more views and more time, but just a lot of practice. Try to nail like who, then the location, then the object, then the verb. I think that's very important now, right? That's when you're starting to form your sentences, right? So I think that's very important, and now you know how to do it in the past tense, which is quite amazing, honestly. So guys, keep it up, right? So guys, keep at it. Keep working. Start memorizing what words go first, like the who, then location, the object, and then of course the verb at the end, right? I think that's a really good way to start like start practicing, because that's like how you should start thinking about when you're moving on in the next lessons. Okay, so guys, as always, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. My name is Tara,
My name is Dana.
and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.